Hi there everybody, you're traveling with Jack and as always my heavenly wife Pam. Well, you know, if you tuned into this channel enough times, you know we do a little bit of everything here. We're heavy on travel, we do a little bit of cooking videos, and I do some grief videos for those who have lost a husband or wife like me. Today though, we're in the kitchen and we're going to be whipping up something that I think you'll really enjoy. Now, I'm not a big keto diet person, but there's one dish I ran across that I really like, and everything in it tells me this can't be that good for me, but boy, it sure does taste good and it's easy to prepare. So that's what we're doing today. It's called Chicken Zoodle. Chicken Zoodle. And why is it called zoodle? Because it's not a noodle, it's going to be some zucchini noodles, which I've already prepared over here in a skillet. Give you a look at those. Nice and green and pretty. I've already cooked them down. I've already removed the water and I've added some salt to them, which will also help draw out a little bit more of that water as well. Now, the first thing we're going to do today is get a hot skillet going here on the stove. And because this is a keto dish, we're going to be using a lot of butter. Well, maybe not a lot of butter, but a decent amount. So, probably put a couple of tablespoons in here. Okay. So we're going to start with that, get our butter going. This is going to be a real simple dish. Now, on the chicken, some people like to do chicken strips and things like that. I just prefer getting a pound of organic ground chicken, and that's what I have here. So that's going to be our chicken that we'll be using. You can use chicken strips or chicken breast or something like that. So let's kind of get our butter going around here. We may end up having to add a little bit more. And I've got some nice organic mushrooms, cremini mushrooms. And I've got those all chopped up already. We're going to put those in there. We're going to put a little pepper. And of course a little bit of coarse sea salt, which will... There we go. So, and I can already tell we're going to need just a little bit more butter. So let's go ahead and get that. Now normally I cook with olive oil. You guys know that if you've watched any of our cooking demonstrations. Again, this is kind of a treat, if you will, at least for me. Most people, keto can become a way of life and they have to cook that way. But like I said, I just had this dish once. When Pam was alive, I made it for her. And we just liked it so much that we started having it every now and then. Now, we're going to also, the ingredients are pretty simple. We're going to be combining some zucchini noodles, some mushrooms, along with our chicken. We'll be cooking that with the mushrooms once the mushrooms are cooked a little bit, because they take a little longer. And then we're going to make a creamy Parmesan sauce and put it all together. Now, you may be thinking, Parmesan sauce sounds hard. I never realized how easy it was. It's truly, truly simple. In fact, we're going to multitask now. So over here on this burner, in this pan, is where I'm going to start our Parmesan sauce. And I had just a little thing of heavy whipping cream that I will put in the pan. Just a little bit, because you're going to need a lot. And then I've got some really nice... This is shaved Parmesan, Romano, and Assaggio cheeses. You see that? Yeah, I get it from Trader Joe's. We'll be combining that with a little salt and pepper over there, and we'll whisk it really good, and then it's going to be just delicious. So our mushrooms are cooking up pretty nice. So far, I think we may have a couple of tablespoons of butter going here. And don't forget, there's our noodles. Eventually, we'll combine all this in here. And then I'm going to put it all in a baking dish. But because I work evenings and it's in the morning right now, I will just hold this, refrigerate it, and then bake it when I get home. Now, you don't have to bake it. You can just eat this dish as soon as you put it all together like I'm going to do. But I kind of like baking it and maybe get a little crispy top on it. Okay, the mushrooms are looking nice. Hopefully you can see those pretty well. And I've got my whisker on standby for when our cream over here starts to heat up a little bit. So, All right, those have been cooking pretty good, so we're going to add our ground chicken now. And I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper that big old block of chicken there. Trust me, we'll be breaking that up, and it's going to do just fine. There you go. See, just break it up nicely, moving it around in the skillet. And you guessed it, we're probably going to add just a little more butter. This dish, when I learned about it, calls for a lot more butter than what I use, but I'm trying to be somewhat smart and not just get totally crazy with it. But we will need to add a little more because that's absorbed so much of our butter now. And this is really tasty. Okay, over here, don't forget we've got our Parmesan sauce going. We're going to add some pepper to this. I'm going to add some salt. Give it a little whisk. And then in a minute we'll start adding our Parmesan cheese to that as well. So let's go back over to our chicken. This is a lot of multitasking, but it's really not that hard. And you can see our chicken is starting to brown up now. It's our ground chicken. And the other reason I like using the ground chicken is, quite honestly, it's easier to work with than if I'm going to take some chicken breasts and then I got to cut them up, and then, you know, it's just a longer process. This is a little more quick and easy, and for my schedule, maybe for many of yours, that is the key to any dish, is quick and easy. Okay. That's looking excellent, if I do say so myself. Okay. Now also on the zucchini noodles, I think I mentioned to you earlier, I did dry those out after they cooked. I steamed them in a skillet is what I did. It was actually frozen zucchini noodles, organic zucchini noodles that you can get. And I steam them in there, and then I take a paper towel and I remove the water, and then I add some salt to it. Okay, over here, our Parmesan cream sauce is ready, so I'm adding the Parmesan. And we're going to keep stirring that. It looks like you'll be able to see this. And of course it will thicken up over time. If you like Parmesan smell, you will smell this. And we all know it's got a very distinct aroma. Okay, that is looking mighty fine, if I do say so myself. I'm going to turn it down now just a bit. Leave my whisker right there. Let's go back to our chicken. And guess what? It's almost done. I'm not seeing much pink left. You want to make sure you don't have any pink. And we pretty much don't. This is looking very, very nice. Got a little bit of butter left in it, and you know, the butter juice or sauce, whatever. I might have considered draining that off, but I think in this case I'm not. So I told you this was going to be easy. Okay? I apologize, sometimes you're looking at the back of my head, but it's just the best way I could set the camera up so you could see the entire kitchen here. Okay, and our Parmesan sauce still coming along. I think I'd like to, let me get a little spoon. You guys bear with me. I just want to taste it just to make sure we've got enough salt and pepper in our Parmesan. We'll see how the flavor is coming along. Oh my gosh, that tastes so good. Nailed it, as they say. And the other thing, when I decide to bake it later, It'll further thicken, of course, the entire dish. All right, so there's our chicken and mushrooms, or I believe it's all done. So here's our zucchini noodles. We're going to add those. I could have done more zucchini noodles, and maybe should have, but I didn't, and that's okay. You see, we just mix it around with our chicken. And here's our Parmesan sauce. We're gonna add the Parmesan. Look at that. Did I tell you this was easy? Did I mention that? Because it is. There we go. Look at this. And what you can do, it's entirely up to you. You could let this cook a while and cook down, or like I'm going to do, you could move it to a baking dish. And this is just so, so delicious. Something else that I've done before with this dish, I didn't do it this time, is you could obviously add some onions. Cook those with your mushrooms when you're starting out. Now, one thing that I do add that some of you may or may not want to do is I like some red pepper flakes in mine. Gives it just a little bit of zip. There we go. It also adds a little color, as you can no doubt see. Let me give you a little look at that. We'll go close up. What do you say? We'll just kind of pick this up. Whoops. So there it is. That's our chicken zoodle with a Z is what we're talking about. Let me try and get the camera back. Okay. So that's it, gang. Quick and easy. I timed it. I think that took us maybe 12 to 15 minutes. Here's my baking dish that just in a few minutes I'll transfer over just so it can cool, and then I will probably bake it when I get home for 15 minutes, just kind of bubbly and maybe a little crispy top. You can also add a little parsley if you wanted to, or even scallions on top of it as well. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Chicken zoodle. Those of you on the keto diet, this is keto friendly and great for you. For the rest of us, it's just a nice treat to have every now and then, okay? You guys have a great day. Be sure to tell your friends, your family, anybody you know, subscribe to our channel here, Traveling with Jack and Pam. Have a good one, okay?